Ms Legalista here. Thank you for joining the video. Imagine that you get laid off. People get laid off all the time. As a matter of fact, I've been seeing more of that in the news recently. And it's kind of devastating here at the end of the year when people are getting ready for family holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, where people typically have to spend a little money. And now they aren't going to have that money to spend. But this is not anything new. Companies do this every year as they're looking to buckle up because maybe, the financial picture that they thought they were going to have is not quite there. And so they start laying people off at the end of the year saying, here's your severance pay. Sorry. There's an organization that I am affiliated with, and I found out just a day or two ago that they laid off staff, no severance pay. These were staff that were supposed to be permanent employees right here. And this is an organization that says that it's behind workers and supports people. So, definitely the wrong thing to do if that's supposed to be the value that you're claiming, the values that you claim that you have out here in the world. Well, a lot of companies, again, lay people off at the end of the year. Well, this college dropout was fired, had his last paycheck, and said, hey, well, what am I going to do with this? I don't have another job lined up, not sure what the future holds, but I have to make some money somehow. So, what does he do? He takes $300 from his last paycheck and says, you know what? I'm going to start a business. And now this business is bringing him in $4 million a year. How did he get there, though? I'm taking a look at this CNBC Make It article that talks about how this all started and how he was able to put this together. What is the product or service that he is throwing out there to bring in this kind of cash? Tea. It is tea. Now, I'm not a tea drinker. I'm more of a lemonade kind of person. And I'm actually in the South. So when I go to family gatherings and other events, people are like, hey, can I get you some tea? I'm like, no, I don't do tea. You can bring me some water. You can bring me some lemonade or something else. And so usually like, well, how can you be from the South and not drink tea? I'm like, it's very easy. Trust me. Well, it turns out he and one of his friends that had known each other since they were 6 years old. You guys have some of those friends, right? That you've known since kindergarten. They've known each other since they were six, grew up in small town Alabama, and it says they even attended the same high school. Well, that's not a huge jump if you're in a small town, right? They're usually not a whole bunch of high schools that people are going to. But in any case, they made their way onto Shark Tank, where they are looking for investors. But here's what he said in this article. He says, the week I got fired, I had $7 to my name. With the last paycheck I received, I used the $300 from that check to purchase the first jars, sugar, and tea that would eventually catapult this idea. He says it brought in $4 million in revenue, including nearly 800,000 in profit last year. And they've only been doing this for a few years, but that's how they got started. Sometimes the doors that close are actually revolving doors and they just take you to another opportunity. But you have to be willing to jump into that and to work on it. And in this case, that's what they did. Now, one of the things that they said they have done is that they've added some flavors. He says, y'all, the name of this is y'all sweet tea, I think. Let me double check that. They even had on shirts in the pictures. Yes, it's y'all sweet tea because it's Alabama and this is the South, right? But he says, y'all added flavored teas to its lineup last year and sold 10,000 units of its first flavor, Georgia Peach, in just 35 minutes. The first 8 minutes of those minutes were responsible for $100,000 in sales. So that's how he was able to do it. You guys can go check out the article on cnbc.com. I will put the link below. And the thing to just sort of keep in mind is, especially now with so many layoffs going on, what are your options? And people start looking for additional ways to make income. Too many times, too often, they fall victim to scams and frauds. Other times, people take things into their own hands and say, hey, let me look at what my options are here. Is there some sort of service or product that I can put together where I can have income coming in? And that's exactly what they did. Now, be for real about the fact that just because they started something doesn't mean that there was never the possibility that they were going to be scammed. That's always an option. Every day you wake up, people are out there targeting you for frauds and scams. Just keep your eyes open and be safe out there. Again, I'll put the link in the description. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Peace.